John Hughes was an American film director, producer, and screenwriter. He directed and scripted some of the most successful comedy films of the 1980s and early 1990s. Some of his most successful movies were 16 Candles, The Breakfast Club, Weird Science, Ferris Bueller's Day Off, Pretty in Pink, and Home Alone. Hughes is known for his work on teen movies and for helping launch the careers of numerous actors, including Michael Keaton, Molly Ringwald, Anthony Michael Hall, Bill Paxton, and more. Hughes was born on February 18, 1950 in Lansing, Michigan. He grew up as a quiet kid with not many friends. In 1963, when Hughes was 13, his family moved to Northbrook, Illinois, a suburb of Chicago, where Hughes's father found work selling roofing materials. There, Hughes attended Glenbrook North High School, which gave him inspiration for the films that made his reputation in later years. A number of Hughes films, including Weird Science, Ferris Bueller's Day Off, 16 Candles, Pretty in Pink, and Lampoon's Vacation, the film is set in the fictional Chicago suburb of Shermer, Illinois. One reason that John Hughes films are set in Shermer, Illinois is because Northbrook was once called Shermerville. Furthermore, Glenbrook North High School is located on Shermer Road. Although he was offered the Distinguished Alumni Award from Glenbrook North High School, he refused it in his reflection of his not-so-great memories of the school. Hughes rarely gave interviews. By the 1990s, he shunned publicity completely, withdrawing from public life. He didn't win many awards, but he won the Show West Award in 1991 for Producer of the Year. Although he didn't win many awards, he influenced the life of teens during the 80s, which was a major accomplishment for him. During the 80s, Hughes wrote movies so fast Hollywood couldn't make them all. He wrote The Breakfast Club in only 2 days. At some point during the 90s, Hughes stopped and looked around. He realized that he didn't want to make movies anymore. He wanted to spend more time with his family, so he moved to his farm 75 miles away northwest of Chicago. And by 1990, with the release of Home Alone, which Hughes wrote and produced but did not direct, he had the means to put Hollywood in the movies behind him. Some of John Hughes' best movies are still watched by teens today. Some of my favorite movies are 16 Candles, The Breakfast Club, Ferris Bueller's Day Off, and Home Alone. Hughes has many trademarks other than just having his movies set in the suburb of Chicago. Some of these trademarks are: most of his teen movies from the 1980s have a scene in the school lunchroom, school library, or both. Also, his movies usually end with a freeze frame. Often, he silently has one character mimicking another as the line is spoken, as if it has been said before. Often, some of his movies have scenes at the end of the credits. Something interesting to know about the movie Home Alone is when casting the role of Kevin McAllister in Home Alone, Chris Columbus had already seen someone he wanted to cast, but he wanted to audition some other kids while Hughes had his heart set on Culkin. So Columbus met Culkin in New York and was very charmed by him and thought he was fantastic. Columbus auditioned 5 other kids and none of them shaped up to Culkin. Columbus went with Culkin because he was not picture perfect. Columbus knew the camera would love him, and he was immensely funny. So that was when Hughes' option was chosen. Home Alone was written by Hughes after he stepped away from the public. A quote from Hughes I find pretty interesting is him saying, "I stumbled into the business. I didn't train for it. I yelled action on the first 2 movies before the camera was even on." On the morning of August 6, 2009, Hughes suffered a severe heart attack while walking on 55th Street in Manhattan. He was rushed to Roosevelt Hospital, where he was later pronounced dead. He was only 59 years old. Hughes' funeral took place on August 11th in Chicago. Hughes' death was a shock to his wife Nancy, 2 sons, 4 grandchildren, 3 sisters, mother and father, and adoring fans. He was buried at Lake Forest Cemetery in Illinois.